Do 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 do. What's up, y'all? I give some people a minute to join. A couple of y'all on here. Jay Bryan, he said, "What's up, brother Okoye?" He said, "I'm always interested when you go live, but that Parsons video essay was fired too, man. Can't wait, brother." I mean, that piece took a minute to do too. That Parsons piece, I appreciate that, man. It didn't get enough views for my liking. It got enough on, I guess, Twitter, but I like I get rewarded with the views. I guess I'm like that. I don't care about the bread as much as I care about people hearing what I have to say. So when they don't get around and I put a lot of effort into it, I'd rather just go live than, man. More people listen to, or just as many people will listen to me just go live than they will me cutting and editing for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and doing research. It's like, if you're gonna get the same views, why am I giving you that level of effort for that? You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel, man. Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I mean? They say be grateful where you at. Okoye, my brother. What's up, Sadiqa? You know I'm squinting a little bit. Jamal Wilson, he says second. Richard Royster, he said, what's up, fam? Sadiqa, J. Bryant, Hearts. Uh, Dr. Dream, he said, thank you for this show. There's nothing wrong with AJ Brown. Oh, yeah, man. You must be an Eagles fan, I guess. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with AJ Brown at all, man. I'm like, yo, buddy, don't like AJ Brown, but we'll get into that. We're gonna get real deep into that. Because I don't know, it's just strange. I said this, and when I say things, and I'm usually very early when I say something, and I understand that comes with a lot of back and forth. It comes with a lot of uh, disagreement and debates and everything, right? People think I'm crazy, so I deal with a lot of especially Eagles fans, man, and Cowboys fans too. But I say things that just sound insane because I'm either looking at it from a film perspective, or I'm just basically basing my hunch on something that I may see from a different point of view than someone else, right? A la Jalen Hurts. What's up, Troy Dudley? What's up, Mark Stevenson? Jalen Hurts, man. I did a piece. I think you guys remember, like maybe 2 years ago, me and the dude Tom Stacks. We kept going back and forth on Twitter about Jalen Hurts because they thought I was hating on him. I wasn't hating on him. This was after the loss to KC in the Super Bowl before they won, right? Pointed out certain things that you see on film right now. And I pointed out the fact that the film catches up to us all, especially running quarterbacks, and it takes a little longer to assess what you really have in a running quarterback because we learned that ourselves. Excuse me, got the hiccups a little bit. We learned that ourselves with Dak Prescott. First 2 years, great. First 3 years, you were like, oh, he's good, right? First year because he came out, swinging just like Jaden Daniels, just like RG3, just like Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts, so on, right? They come out swinging because you have to adjust to their athleticism, right? When do they run? How do they like to run? What are they setting up when they run, when they scramble, when they get out of the pocket? You have to have tape and film for their tendencies to actually matter. That first year, they jump out of off the screen at you and they win, right? I said this, and I wasn't assessing just Jalen Hurts. I said that we had went through the same curve with Dak Prescott, and I said you're going to see the learning curve when it comes to his natural progression as a quarterback, not as an athlete who throws the ball. But like I said, y'all know I don't got to say everything that transpired during those altercations. I call them altercations because they got real personal. When really all I do, and even all I'm doing right now, even though you see the salacious thumbnail and all that, all I'm doing right now is really just looking into the film and just saying, I'll ask the question. I don't even have to say anything because film speak for itself. All I'm doing is pointing at it. You guys can come and draw your own conclusions. So I'm not trying to say Jalen Hurts is trash because I really don't think it's a trash thing. I think what he's doing to be winning, doing what he's doing, and if I go through the film, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So if I go through the film and I keep going through the film, and he keeps winning, doing what I see him do in the Green Bay game, if this is in every game, I understand why AJ is pissed off. Number one. Number two, I don't understand why no one else, Tom Brady, uh, Tony Romo, any of these guys, why don't they point it out? Because I ain't never played quarterback in the NFL. You know what I mean? Newsflash. So if I could see it clear as day, I know other quarterbacks can see it. I know the players on the team can see it. I know Jalen Hurts can see it. Sirianni can see it. Everyone can see what I'm seeing and what I'm gonna show you today, right? And you guys gotta understand the format is gonna be a little bit different because, as you know, every time I go live and I show too much footage, they zap me. So I'm gonna be going in and out of plays instead of just going straight through. I'll show a play, then I'm going to jump off that screen and start again, talk in between. You know what I mean? So when you see me doing that, don't think I'm doing it to try to, mix something up. I just have to get a little bit more creative, I think. Ah, then he said, Bling Man, he said, Adekoye, fuck it's dummy. I finally made it to a live. Much love from Baltimore, man. What's up, Brody? I gotta get back down Baltimore, man, for sure. I've been down B-more in years now. Dang, I was down there every day for a minute. He said, Hurts can do no wrong to these people or with these people. Yeah, it's in these people's eyes. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a little crazy, man. You get into these, like I said, I got into years long arguments about these things, right? But being early has that effect. Now, I'm not saying that they owe me an apology, right? But I'm in the season where I'm not sitting back and just acting like I didn't do or I haven't said what I be saying, and then everybody else just they acknowledge me both in the cowboy space and in the sports space. They acknowledge what I'm saying or what I do, which is cool. I'm not in it for the validation from them, but they will argue or try to erode certain arguments when I do say something wrong or I might be like shaky. They will come in and they will make sure they kick those legs out from under me. Everyone alike, right? So make sure when I'm right, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you do the same. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got no problem going to verbal blows when I'm wrong or when you think I'm wrong. So when I'm proven right, have the grace to come back and say that, man. Some people should anyway. That's just how I feel. I think that's it's a fair world. Like I'm the type, let's go in the hallway. You want to rumble? Let's go in the hallway, see who, what I mean, come back out the hallway. You know what I mean? That's the way I think, man. So I take the same thing when it comes to talking, man. We ain't gotta be enemies just because we was at odds. I'll tell you, hey man, you shot me a fair when you won. I don't care. You know what I mean? Same thing. You beat me in a debate or I was wrong about something. I tell you I eat crow. I said this to a lot of y'all. But on this Jalen Hurts issue, there's a lot of crow to be passed around, man, because like I said, it's 50-50. Because I'm gonna say half of me says he's not as bad as it appears. Because when you're watching both cameras, when you watch this, I'm gonna show you guys, you're gonna watch the sideline view, and then when you watch the broadcast view, you can see what he's looking at. So it's not like he's seeing it and he just can't get the ball there. He's seeing it and not getting the ball there. Those two different things. So I can't even assess whether he can or can't. Because he can, probably. He's done it. I'm assuming. I think this is either the this is probably one of the most masterful quarterback displays that I've seen because he's still winning games doing it. That's what the issue is. It's like, well, he turns it up just enough to win in the drives he needs to, win on or get the first down conversion he needs to get. But he can I don't get it, man. But he can coast and ignore AJ Brown like blatantly on several plays, man. And force feed it to Devontae Smith or God. He'll throw it anywhere but there. And it's just wild. So when I'm watching it, it's kind of hard not to crack a smile because it's really it's funny, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna let y'all decide because tonight maybe I'm just in a different kind of mood. Maybe I'm tripping. But hold on. Dr. Dream, he said, that's what I'm noticing. I don't understand why nobody will point out his flaws or say it out in public. yeah, I don't get it either. They won't criticize him, and it's because he's a Super Bowl winner. But the crazy thing is, when I would say that, that's what everybody would say to me. It's about the winning. It's about winning. You hate it. I said, no, I'm just assessing quarterback play, just like I did my own quarterback. It's not like, but I can understand Eagles fans though in this regard. If you don't know me, and the first time you hear of me, it's me criticizing your quarterback, and you find out I'm a Cowboy fan, you assume I'm doing it because I'm a Cowboy fan and I'm just hating. So I kind of get that part, but I'm not hating. I'm just, if it was good, I would say I don't come at Saquon. You know what I'm saying? I don't come at AJ. I don't say AJ ain't one of the best wide receivers in the league. You could argue, maybe number one or two in the league. I wouldn't argue with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hate. If you ain't that, you ain't that. So with that said, I'm gonna keep going through these real quick, just saying what's up, and then we're gonna jump into some film. But remember, I'm gonna yo-yo this one. I'm going in and out of the film. Judas Redemption, Okoye, you gotta live around those Eagles fans. You better chill. Oh yeah, they're gonna be mad. I don't know, they can't be mad. I actually talked to one today, like one of my arch nemesis. He called me when we lose just to hear me cry. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear me bitch and complain. We just both sit in the phone. That's like how you know people like old enemies and shit. Gus will call me. And he used to call me and scream or like celebrate. Now he just call me and just sit on the phone, man. Quiet. We just listen to each other breathe. Cause I'm like, fuck you. I ain't saying shit, fuck you. When we lose or when something go wrong. So same thing, man. That's funny. Just thinking about it is funny. But you're right. Living in Philly, crazy. Hold up, man. King Reezy, he said, Okoye, keep bringing the truth to the masses, man. I sure will, brother. Sadiqa Charge, she said, don't bring me. She's talking to somebody else. My bad. Okoye, I'm bored. Dummy means. I know. No. I know what dummy mean, man. It's me, dummy. I know what it mean, man. I don't live in a cave, bro. And just hilarious. She used that shit all day. So yeah, I ain't as old as I look, man. I'm 42, man. I still got some youth in me, man. Try to put me out there. AJ Brown is right. Fuck him. Yeah, he is right though. So they beefing? Oh, they definitely beefing. Ain't no way they not beefing. Ain't no way. Don't listen to AJ Brown. Keep doing what you're doing. Yo, listen to me. Okoye, I heard a few weeks ago their issues are over a female. Woo! That could do it. That could do it. That really could. Like, listen, man. Y'all don't understand. Women know, but they act like they don't know. And this ain't a dating show, but the power of the female persuasion is ridiculously crazy. Like, you gotta think about it. I think I seen this on IG the other day. It said the wisest king, Solomon, was brought down by a woman. And the strongest king, Samson, was brought down by a woman. You get what I'm saying? Achilles, all these, everybody like, yo, they ain't no joke, man. So if that's what split them up, I think that make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So hey, it looked like it. I could tell you that it looked like AJ was the one doing the taking of the woman or something because it looked personal, man. AJ better than Pickens. See, I go by skill sets, so I wouldn't say better. I just say you can use them differently, but it depends on the quarterback too. Because AJ ain't Pickens ain't for everybody. Pickens, he got a weird gait. Gait means the way he runs. For those who don't know what I'm saying, but he runs weird. So he don't look as fast as he is, and he don't always look open when he is open. Like he has such a catch radius that you could now Dak knows though, but you can throw the ball in ways where he's open where other receivers may not be. And you could say AJ got those type of ball skills too, but I don't think the catch radius is the same. But the difference is with AJ, you can just give him a hitch route and he'll make it happen. You could throw him slant, sluggos, digs, and arrow routes, all that type of stuff, and drag routes, and he can take those things to the house because he has like that T.O. effect with him. So it's a age old argument. You know what I mean? The 50-50 ball guy versus the T.O.s, like the T.O.s versus the Randy Mosses, that type of thing. Still that same argument. People who argue that Dez was the best at one point, and Dez was more of an AJ type of guy, right? Like Megatron versus Dez all day long, but they both with Megatron, which is a different type of thing. You can't really argue with that. But I don't know. I wouldn't say better. I just say different skill set. Like I said, Randy Moss didn't play like T.O., but they both will kill you. Can winning in a 10-7 game really be the QB? Sounds like the defense dominated to me. What? Yo, bro, listen, man. When you watch both quarterbacks play in this game and you say the defense dominated, you're lying, man. It's like that's what I meant by the defense is dominating and the commentator's not calling it out. Why y'all ain't calling out the bad offense? Like, I understand that these defenses play and then blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But why y'all ain't calling out the bad offense? Because I see, especially on the film, I can see it. There's plays to be had. This should not have been a 10-7 game on either side. Jordan Love get his too. They both are, in most people's eyes, they keep getting listed as better than Dak, but the things they're doing on film is crazy. But like I said, let me finish this. Let me finish saying what's up to y'all so I can get into the film because I keep like, hyping it up. He said that's weirdo though if it's chicks, they both married, right? I don't know if they married, none of that, bro. But when has that ever stopped a man arguing over side chicks? Side chicks run the world, bro. What you talking about? The power of the chichin, the chincha. I know what you mean. Man, it ain't nothing for a strong man to be toppled by Jezebel. Females toy with the hearts. Women let you know the deal from the gate. Mostly, I mean, everybody lets you know the deal from the gate if you pay attention. They only call out bad offense when the team got a star on their helmet. Facts. Paul, what's good, man? All right, I got through everybody, so I'm gonna pull some film in, but remember, I'm going yo-yo. If they zap me, I gotta go, man. If they zap, because they've been zapping my channel for a minute now. All right, let's just hope that they don't. All right, let's go. Let me get your comment out of here. Now, let's just watch. Let's see. This is early, you know what I mean? This is nothing major. You got a 2x2 set, motion set, and he's gonna sit down right there in the pocket. That's not nothing. That's AJ at the top of the screen, right? I want to get to him because, like I said, I know I don't got all day with this film, but these aren't cut up yet. All right, now watch this. This is what I watch on this play, right? Not this one. This one is coming. Now, right now, the read is correct. So either he doesn't know how to read the field, or he does, and he doesn't. He's just going to do what he wants to do because right now you have too high safety, right? Now, because of the two set or the bunch set to the right, you don't know. You know it's zone because there's a corner on the opposite side. So this is cover two. It reads cover two pre-snap, right? Now after the motion, you get a cover three or a cover one look. This could be man, but it could be cover three because that safety came down, right? You see Jalen Hurts' head. Jalen Hurts' head is to the left, right? Now, Adams, you can see the safety's on that hash. So Adams Smith, Devontae Smith, not Adams. I keep getting Devontae Adams Smith. Don't get me wrong when I say Adams. But Devontae Smith has the safety, meaning he should, and I don't know their offense, but he should be reading this one-on-one to the bottom of the screen with AJ Brown. He didn't look at it like at all. And it winds up being cover one man, no safety help for AJ, and he throws it in. He'd rather throw a pick six. He almost throws a pick six on this, but he'd rather throw a pick six than throw to AJ. Now, watch his eyes. This is why I say it's intentional. All right, watch this. Boom. He never looks over there at all. He looks the safety down and takes him to the ball, never looks over there at all. And if he puts that ball where it's supposed to be, it's a pick six. He'd rather do that than throw to the open man. Let me just show you the open man one more time. Who over there with AJ on that comeback route? Nobody. He catches ball. He catches ball here. It could be a problem, right? He don't even bother looking over there, letting the ball go, or even giving him opportunity. And this is multiple plays. Let me see. Let me get to another play. I'm gonna try to squeeze one more in before I come back into the screen. Let me see which one this is. That's AJ at the top of the screen, to the left of the formation. There's nothing there. I don't know. Maybe I was looking at Devontae Smith. I think that was Dotson or somebody that I was looking at on this play when I recorded this play. Watch the right of the screen. I think it's Dotson. There's several. He's staring down, I think, Goddard on this play. When you look at Dotson, Dotson got into a soft spot in this cover two zone, and he's like wide open on this play. But I think that's probably what I was trying to look at, or what I'm going to look at when I go to cut this up, because this is all my raw footage for me to cut this film up. So let me come out of here real quick so I don't get us in any trouble. Remove that. All right, let me give it, you know what I mean, a couple minutes before I jump back and go again. But off that first play, you can clearly see Jalen is either he can't read it, and it's not that hard to read it. You looked at the safety, so I know you know he's on the left hash. And I know that means if the safety's on the left hash and that other safety rolled down, there is no safety on the other side of the field. That means you got one-on-one with AJ. You know that at the snap. I know he knows that. Now, if he doesn't know that, then he's not a good quarterback. Now, I think he's good enough to know that at this stage in his career. And we're gonna see, because we're gonna keep jumping in. Let's see what y'all said about it though. He said, "You put Hurts on a Jets team and see if he's the same." Oh yeah, you put him on a team with a bet. He got the best offense, or one of the best offenses in the game right now. I think the Cowboys can argue that they up there too. I'm not gonna front. We got two good receivers, a lot of good receivers. We got, you know, if Terps, you're three, and then Florinay's your four, and then you got Mingo coming back as your fifth probably, and Tolbert your sixth best receiver on your team. You got some good receivers. You got okay tight ends. Offensive line is deep, but I wouldn't say they're at the level of the Eagles yet, but they're deep. You got Dak. You got JW. See what I'm saying? We got a good offense, but Hurts, man. Come on, man. At every level, you got multitudes of talent. So it's not the talent. You can't say it's the talent. And then I was looking to see if it's him or the offensive coordinator, but I'm watching people run wide open in this offensive coordinator scheme. So he's designing plays to get people open. It's your job to execute and get the ball to him. And that's what's not happening. So this is on Jalen Hurts, not because I want it to be. That is process of elimination. Just scientifically, there is no way you can say if I was looking at the film and no one's open or these plays are poorly designed, I can say, hey, you need a better offensive coordinator. If you got Jalen dropping back in 7-man drops and he's getting sacked or getting blown up because you want to go, Steve Spurrier and run and gun, and you're getting him killed, I would say you need a better offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Those things are not happening though. If you had Jason Garrett's type offense, I would say, yeah, you need an offensive coordinator. Nobody's open. You're running four comeback routes. If you're doing that's the stuff that we had under Scott, what was his name? Scott Linehan, something like that. That's what we had. You know what I mean? That's bad OC. We don't see that. I see people open. Now let's get back. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Hold on. Add to the stage again. Boom. All right, I'm gonna remove you from the stage. See where we at on this one. I don't remember this play. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens on this one. Here, this is just a completion. I think I just put that in there because he got the ball off to him. But he was literally like the last read on the play. He just said, all right, I threw it to him because he's standing over there. But it wasn't he's not looking for him. Watch this. This was a design run. Shouldn't have put that in there. This is also a screen. Now, watch this play. Now, again, either he doesn't know how to read the field or he don't like this dude. This is single high safety, right? And now they got a rub route at the top of the screen. This is designed for AJ to kill, right? At the bottom of the screen, you got on the short side of the field, you got a bunch set between Dallas Goddard and Devontae Smith, right? Okay, watch this. Okay. At the snap, I understand him looking this way at the snap because you setting up. I guess he was trying to set up a rub at the bottom of the screen, right? But if you look at the top of the screen, right? Look at the top of the screen. That rub, you look at the rub right at the top of the screen. And this is Adam. I think he threw this one to Dotson instead of you got Javante, you got Javante Smith and AJ Brown at the top of the screen, right? Running running a rub route, right? Right here, boom. That slant's coming off of that because that corner is playing soft. Look how open this is, right? He catches this, he has to deal with like Quay Walker and that safety or McKinney and that safety. Yeah, he probably gets tackled somewhere in the 40-yard line or better. And then he can break this, right? But not even a look. Instead, I almost throw a pick six short side of the field with a corner sitting on the route. Look at this. Look at his head. He's looking left. Looking left. Is he pressured? No. Never looked over there at all. And stared down. What's his name? Dockett? What's his name? Dotson. Jahad Dotson. Yeah, he stares him down. I'm like, this is insane. Boy, crazy for this one. Am I tripping? Watch this. All right. Let me come out of there real quick. You know how they're gonna do. I gotta jump out of there. For those who weren't here earlier, I'm yo-yoing in and out of the film because they keep zapping my page. But I'm not tripping, man. Dak made an average wide receiver in Gallup into something and got paid. Got paid what wide receivers did. What wide receivers did Hurts make that was average and gotten that player paid? I'll wait. Oh, you gonna say AJ Brown, right? You think AJ Brown's average? Oh, you mean I guess you're saying it for real. I thought you were saying it like a drop the mic type question. I don't know if you're an Eagles fan or a Cowboys fan. I don't know I don't know the context of the question. Just put it that way. Like if you're saying literally, I don't think AJ was average, but he did get AJ paid. If you're saying it like sarcastically, I mean, if you're saying it literally, he didn't make any wide receivers better. Right. Gotcha. If you're saying it sarcastically, he didn't make AJ Brown better. I think AJ Brown's already a good wide receiver. So either way, I guess I get your point. I'm a little retarded. Hit the like button, good people. I see it. Let's see. Plain and simple, he's the only QB that didn't go off against us. The only QB. Yep. Oh man. He said, "I guess this is the start of the Eagles about to rebuild. Yeah, they're gonna have to blow this team up because AJ ain't staying there." Yeah, Jalen definitely not looking AJ way on purpose. You look at wide receiver 3 before AJ on a regular. Is this like the Dez not guilty video? I mean, is he not guilty? Dak makes his receivers better. Oh yeah, of course. That's what I thought. I didn't know which way you was taking it. Is this like the Dez not guilty video? I guess so. Yeah, I'm looking at the incompletions and completions from the Packers game, and I'm going to take this one slower than the Dez Bryant not guilty video. Meaning, I'm not just going to get emotional because I'm a fan and start snapping, but I am going to point out all of the blatant BS that is going on between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown because AJ Brown not wrong, bro. And I'm glad he said it because I've been saying it, but now that he said it, at least Eagles fans can't make it seem like I'm hating for saying what everybody can see. He even said like everybody can see. It ain't hard to see, dog. Hold on, let me show you when we jumping back in there. All right, y'all just saw that last play. I don't know if you just jumped on. You definitely want to rewatch this joint. Oh, now hold on, let me escape out of here. But you definitely want to rewatch it because you're missing some plays. Let me see. Let me see what this one is. All right. You see at the top of the screen? AJ, this is cover 2. AJ, so this is called money shot, where you throw between the safety and the corner in cover 2. AJ reads right here off the release. He knows it's cover 2. He probably knows there's no receiver releasing under him because instead of flattening out on this, AJ kind of floats up the field a little bit more on this route. Plus that safety set a little deeper, right? You see that? So AJ's to the right of the screen. Now Hurts looks like he's looking at him, right? He's looking, isn't he? There's nothing else to the right other than AJ, and that's the direction he's looking in. Now, Hurts can put this ball where nobody else can get it, meaning on the sideline, back shoulder. Right now, he could have did that then. He could let that ball go. There's nothing there to stop AJ. And if he doesn't catch it, that's just out of bounds. Instead, he takes off and runs. Now, am I wrong? Let's look at it again. Watch Hurts' head. He is looking at AJ Brown. You can't say you didn't see him because that's the only thing over there. He had plenty of time. The pocket was not collapsed either. So it's not like, all right, look at Parsons. Parsons is pretty much was dealt with for the most part. There's no pressure. He has a clean pocket, clean line of vision. Why did he do this? He wanted to. That was wide open. Let's see this one. Now they flip it. AJ's at the bottom of the screen. Same exact play, except for this time they played cover two a little softer, so that corner has a deeper set. Now he's rolling out to his left at this point, but still same effect. You can throw this ball out to the sideline where either only AJ can get it, or it's an incomplete pass out of bounds. He holds it, keeps it, runs. Very next play. This is the same series. This is not like later in the game this happened. This is the very next play, right? So let's watch where he's looking at on this one. Let's do it again. Boom. He's looking where? Right at AJ. Now Parsons is edging the corner here. Boom. All right. So now you're rolling out. Now, can he make this throw? I think he can. Even though I think I scouted him a year ago, I said he doesn't make those throws going out to his left. He only does it going to his right. But I think he's since learned how to do that. Okay. Same thing again. Same exact plays, like the defense running the same coverage. AJ's doing the same thing. This is cover two again, soft cover two. Watch this. He engages the corner. He tries to bring him in, but he knows the corner has a route underneath him. He's not even looking over there. He's not even looking over there. AJ Brown open again, right? He's not looking over there. He's staring at Devontae. Now AJ pissed off on this one because he know he's open. You know how pissed off he is? The next play, he ain't gonna be the hell in there. Next play, he ain't gonna be in there. There ain't nothing wrong with the pocket either. He throw that lame duck to Devontae Smith. Next play, look at this. They got max protect on the next play. It's 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This ain't even a play. Look, Devontae Smith went out of bounds. Hurts throws the ball in the stands. AJ ain't even come on the field. You know what I'm saying? This was right before the half. He said, "Man, I'm man. Let me get back in." But you get what I'm saying. So if I was wrong, then I would be wrong now. I wouldn't be able to see it. You can tell a story silently, even if I was just showing this film with no vocals. You still can get the picture if you knew where AJ Brown was, and you could pay attention to where Hurts is or isn't looking, and the attempts he will or won't make. It's not a game. Like, he's not trying to throw the ball to AJ. And at that point, you got to ask yourself, why? Is it Vegas? Is it personal? Is it both? You know what I mean? Or are you really that bad of a quarterback? One of them is true, or all of them. You know what I'm saying? But you guys can decide for me. But we're gonna keep doing it though. I'm gonna keep throwing the film up there because I feel like it. That's pretty much the real reason. But at the end of the day, this is my pettiness and vindication because, like I said, I've been saying what I've been saying for years, and I've been getting cursed out on Twitter for really just sharing the truth. And sometimes, like I said, when you're early, that's what you get. But you're not gonna act like I didn't say it, so we're gonna show it again. And these are current, so you know, let's go. But let's see what we looking at right quick. I ain't get hit or zapped yet, so let's keep going. All right, we saw this one. We saw this one. All right, let's see the very next play. Now, right there off that dig, he's not looking at it, but AJ is at the top of the screen to the left, running a dig route. Watch this. This is soft cover two again. Now you got a tight end in the middle of the field occupying that linebacker, Cooper or Walker, whoever that is, just so that when and then AJ takes even though this is a bunch set or a tight set, he's going to widen out the corner right there with his release. You see that he took a wide release. Why? Because he needs some space between that corner and that safety. So he's giving Hurts a place to put the ball right there. You see that? Boom. He would have had to let the ball go already off the break, and it would have been a tight throw, and it should have been a low throw. But he throws it here. Well, I mean, it was open though. He throws it to the guy right over there. But that's just showing he is getting open. I wouldn't say this is egregious. I don't mind the read on this, but it just never looked over there though. That's true at all. Like, watch this. Now, how long can you go? Now, this is since the last quarter. So the end of the end of the second quarter, I just showed you that whole series. He never looked at him. Right now, this is the third quarter. The very next series still hasn't looked at him. You know what I'm saying? At all. I mean, he never even glanced over there at all. Never at all. Here's another. Let's see what happens on this one. Man, look at this. Look at it. He know he not getting the ball though. But watch this. Watch this. Watch. Now watch to the left, right? Watch this slant set up. Boom. Now that linebacker's kind of sitting on it, but AJ jogging. He know he not gonna look over there. He still hasn't looked over there yet. AJ and Smith are over there. He still ain't look over there. Look where he throws the ball up the seam. Boom. Up the seam. And he tries to throw him open. He not even open when he let the ball go at all. Look. You telling me that's what your offensive coordinator ain't call that? Ain't call that. You lying. That man ain't call that. You tripping. Look at this. He said never look at he never look at AJ Brown or Smith at all in a whole series. Never. He ain't call that. And it ain't like they not double covering him and none of that. So don't give me that bullshit. That's what a lot of y'all like to say. Hold on a second. All right, let me see if I can squeeze this last play in. Watch this one. God damn, this one hurt. Watch this one. Watch this one. Now watch AJ Brown right there, inside release on this drag. Now that's the rub. You see the rub right there, right? That Dotson gave him. So that corner can't get over that. He is wide open. Jalen is looking in the middle of the field right now. He still can see him. Get this ball out. It's wide open. He catches this ball. This is a touchdown, bro. He runs. AJ knows that he doing that, bro. Ain't no way. This ain't an accident. This ain't no accident. Are you crazy? Look at this. He looking dead in the middle of the field. He can see him. He looking at him right now. He can see him. He can see him. He know he wide open. And the play design was for him to be wide open. This is madness. That was madness right there. Now, if you can't get mad at that, you can't say nothing about that, then what can you say? And then we like we always say, right? When a quarterback criticize somebody, like if a quarterback come at his the other players on the team, we'll call that leadership when the quarterback do it. If a receiver start trying to call out the quarterback, though, we call that a diva. He's a diva. He's a emotional person. But I used to go for that, right? With certain antics, yeah, you tripping. Like I used to see, Antonio Brown, AB used to do craziness. You know what I'm saying? Odell Beckham too. They just doing too much. Just trying to be seen. That is diva. That's feminine. You know what I mean? But certain players got a point, and this is what I mean. I heard Dez talk about his contract year, how he was getting limited targets, and you could tell it was coming from upstairs. It was money ball, right? When you look at a guy like AJ getting however much he getting per year, I don't know how much, but They're gonna ask him come his next evaluation what he thinks he's worth. He still think he's worth what he is worth currently, right? But his production will not say so. So this is not just I can't help my team win, which does matter, but it's also you are literally taking money out my kid's mouth by playing with me like that. Like that's you playing with that man. You playing with his career. You playing with him. That's not, I just can't play quarterback very well. We can live with that. If you're a young quarterback, or you're a quarterback, and this is just what we got, but you trying. If he was jacking the ball like Jay Cutler used to Brandon, Jay Cutler was trying. He just throw the ball to Brandon Marshall 20 times a game. If he was jacking like that and we still losing or you still sucked, okay, we can. I can't say nothing. This is what we got. Everybody over there with Justin Fields right now and with the Jets, you see what they doing. They trying to get them a quarterback. They said we're gonna get all this draft capital, try to get us a quarterback or a trade or something, right? Because he trash, right? Can't throw the ball at all. It's like you ain't got a quarterback. You know what I mean? So if it was that, you got what you got. But Hurts ain't supposed to be that. Hurts supposed to be something else, right? Okay. So that the riding Saquon to the Super Bowl thing, that's figured out now. Everybody has, as you can see with the Cowboys, everybody has heavily invested in defensive line play, especially in this division. But everybody understands what they need: linebackers and sturdy defensive tackles late in the year. Everyone knows this because that's what's been winning Super Bowls. The Eagles didn't have a premier pass rusher last year. Neither did the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So, as I said, when we let Micah go, you don't need an elite pass rusher to get to the Super Bowl or deep in the playoffs, but you do need elite linebacker play and interior line play, right? But we're gonna jump back in and look at some more because I mean I've shown enough from one game, but this is just one game. There was only 30 passes in the game, and you can see the lack of targets are not because he's not open, not because he's running his routes poorly, none of that. Not because Jalen ain't got time, not because Jalen can't see him, not because Jalen can't read the field. None of that is true. Right, Eagles fans? He's seeing all this shit. I'm seeing it. You seeing it. I know if he didn't see it last week, he saw it this week because they watched the film and they scout themselves. So if he saw it and he knows these things are happening on film every game and he still hasn't adjusted, he's either a very, very poor quarterback or he's doing it on purpose. And they still winning games with him doing this shit, which is crazy. Wild. I'll be mad if I'm the OC because you put smut on my name, and I would definitely be mad if I was AJ Brown. All right, let's see what we got. I'll say AJ's at the bottom of the screen. Didn't look at him at all. Didn't look at him at all. He's one-on-one over here. You got AJ Brown one-on-one, and you got your check down at that. You got, if you look over there, you got Saquon too. So AJ and Smith are at the bottom of the screen. You telling me that this coordinator told you on two different occasions when you have the same look, if you get man across the board with a single high safety, cover one, I want you to look to Dotson and Goddard, short side of the field. First time you almost threw a pick six. This time he just scrambles. There's nothing open over there, not even remotely. And if you just looked where you were supposed to look, you have your check down, which is wide open. Well, your linebacker was on it, kind of. But AJ is wide open. Like open. Nobody else. He's still open. Still open. He throws the ball to Saquon late, and AJ blocks for him. Boom. Okay. Look at this. Now look at this progression. Why the hell would you be looking to your right? Why would you be looking to your right? Why? Why is he looking over there? Why won't he look at AJ? He hasn't looked at him yet in the second half. Since the second quarter, he hasn't looked. That last series of the second quarter and the entire second half, this I did not skip. I'm not skipping very many. I did skip some, but those were like screen passes or Goddard shovels and shit like that. We didn't need to look at those because those were designed to go the way they went. Or scrambles that were legitimate pressures. I didn't put those in there. But boom. Every time he had an opportunity to throw a good ball, I put in here. And every time he's had an opportunity to throw a good ball, unless it was automatically designed to go to AJ only, on the 2 routes that he caught. One of them was like, "Hey, I just gotta get rid of the ball." I threw it to him on the sideline. The other one was a comeback route that was a 6-yard catch. That's all I looked at him on. He hasn't looked at him again yet. Not one time. Well, he's looked at him, but he hasn't let the ball go once. Where's he looking? This time he throws the ball to him. This was, I believe, this was 33 seconds left in the game. 33 seconds left. He finally looks at him again. Throws him a jump ball when they were up 10-7. So when he throws him the jump ball, this is I'm tired of him bitching for the ball in my ear throw right here. Watch this. Watch this. Because he's just gonna jack it up. He don't even care if he completes his best. They already won. It's 33 seconds left. Look at it. He like, pussy. Here, take the ball. AJ mad. Look at it. Look at his body language. He mad, man. That's like dejected. I don't even get to use that word like that. But you get my point, man. Now I'm going to take this film and I'm about to cut it up and then go through the other games of the season. I think I'll go through 4. But we're just gonna find out. But I know if the rest of those games, which I know they are anything like this game right here, then AJ Brown is definitely on the money with what he's saying. Like he ain't no cat. He's really sabotaging that, man. It's not I'm a bad quarterback. It's I'm intentionally sabotaging AJ Brown. Now, did y'all see him look? This is one of the best receivers in the league. You can't tell me, I don't care what you say. Matter of fact, Scott Linehan was what I would call a average or below average offensive coordinator. I wouldn't say he was good, but he looked damn good for a long time. You know why? Because even he would spam guys like Randy Moss when he had him, guys like Megatron when he was coaching him, and Dez when he was coaching him. Just throw the ball in their direction. He didn't have no plays for Dez. He was just throwing the ball up at that man. Get what I'm saying? So even a receiver like AJ, he already made Hurts look good and got him paid. Because when I said Hurts was throwing into double coverage a couple years ago, nobody said anything. But the reason he didn't pay for it is because he was catching the ball. AJ was catching the ball in double coverage. Crazy ass catch. I'm actually going to try to find that real quick. Let me share the screen. Let me find this video for you. Because this is the video that made everybody start coming for me. And I thought it was kind of unfair, man. But it is what it is. I'm gonna mute it. I mean, y'all tell me, do y'all want it muted or do you want me to let you guys hear what was originally said? I don't really care either way. The first 2 people to comment collectively win. You let me know. Hold on, let me remove this though. Can't be getting my shit. Getting me in trouble, man. Unmute. Unmute. All right, Jay Bryan say unmute the joint. All right, so we're gonna rewatch this joint together. Now you guys can tell me if I was biased then. Am I biased on this one? All right. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
All right, we're looking at the Eagles' offense once again. Create fits for anybody, but a lot of teams have running quarterbacks. So what was it to dominate the NFC last season? And a lot of people were wondering, like, how did they go about just dismantling a lot of teams? And obviously, they had a dynamic running quarterback who can definitely create fits for anybody. But a lot of teams have running quarterbacks. So what was it that made the Eagles so hard to beat? One, they have an offensive line that's good from every man across the line is pretty good, and along with Kelsey as well. But they were giving defenses fits. We don't have to look at the running game because the running game is tough to beat as it stands. And Hurts is as tough as they come when it comes to running the football as a quarterback. Pretty strong. That quarterback sneak, yeah, about 10 touchdowns off of that alone. So, a lot of, and then they have offensive
You got
line that
Derek?
can just eat eight
All right.
man boxes alive. So, pause. So it's just tough to stop a team that can run this effective even when you load the box, right? So what is it though that made the Eagles so much better than everybody else in the NFC last year? Obviously they have a quarterback that can run away from you.
This wasn't this was
Lamar
in
Jackson-esque,
2024.
but with an arm who, actually throws a little bit better,
They didn't win.
has a deep ball, pretty accurate deep ball. But what were the Eagles doing? And I looked at Steichen, who's over at the Colts now, the head coach for the Colts, who was their offensive coordinator last year. And I wanted to see what was he employing that was working so effectively. And what it was a lot of quick, easy reads. A lot of times, Hurts didn't really have to do anything but read one side of the field, like you see here, because all the
Man,
routes were
see how
converging
nice
to
I'm
the same
talking.
side.
I'm
Or you
talking
see a
this on
lot
purpose.
of ISO
I had
plays that were set up
because
for
I didn't
him
want
to
anybody to feel no
take advantage
passion
of. Because
for
as you
you
can see,
know,
there was a touchdown
I
opposite
don't
side of
want you
that
to
field.
feel
How you saw it, they get the ball out of his hands pretty quick on most of these routes, and they're also looking to take advantage of the fact that he can put some touch on the ball deep if it need be. But sometimes he makes the wrong
I
read,
see
like I would say he did there. Although
these
he
are
was
crazy.
effective, he got
He
the
was getting
he got the
bailed out by
completion.
Goddard
That
and
read
eight
was I don't think he noticed
bailed
that
out.
corner rolling up underneath that route until late, but he still got that ball in there, and that was pretty good. But with an offensive line like this one, it's pretty hard to beat the Eagles, man. Kelsey, I love his game. He's evil. He's smart. He's definitely a guy that they're happy to have back in the 2023 season because he's not a guy that you can just replace. You can't just replace him. A lot of the things that the Eagles were doing with the misdirection stuff, the side-to-side stuff, horizontal play, open it up so that they can get those little quick ISO slants and things like that on the back end of those plays because the run is so effective. They're able to get those plays in. Like here, you see a little ISO play to Devontae Adams on the left side of the screen. What that does, or what these little quick plays do, it's designed to bring the defense to the line of scrimmage and also get the ball into their playmakers' hands early. So if they break a big play, great. You get credit for that. These are yak design plays. You know what I mean? Get the ball in your playmakers' hands early. The run is very important because it creates a lot of attention away from the pass game and then get the ball in your playmakers' hand in space and let them do their thing. You'll see here that's really what they want to do. They want to get the ball out there quick to run it. They don't care who catches the ball, running backs, tight ends, whoever. Everybody gets a chance in the pass game, quick and easy. And once the coordinator sees that you're actually sitting on these routes, like they see here, you would think that the
They would throw a bunch
KC
of
should be happy
swing,
about these plays, right?
screen,
Where they're blowing guys up, you're running down to the line of scrimmage, and you're tearing the Eagles up. And you're like, well, how are they still beating you after you're doing that? Because you see, even in the 49ers game, although they didn't have a quarterback that was healthy, Eagles did a good job of hurting everybody. But they were sitting on these routes, pressing and then driving, right? And they were effective early doing that against the Eagles. So how do the Eagles even overcome that? And the way they do is once they see that, they're actually happy that you're doing it because now they know once you're blitzing and sitting, they have all the space they need to throw the deep ball. And that's what they really want to get to for Hurts. They don't want Hurts having to try to dissect guys underneath. That's why they design everything underneath because they don't want him having to think when it comes to the routes underneath. Anything underneath, we're going to throw it quick. You know what you're going to do before the play even starts. Hurts, you don't have to read anything. You will look at this play. Every route on this play is just a decoy route. One's to take the safety away. This guy's job was to screen Gilmore. And then you see this is how you can tell this is a design play because you can see what Kelsey's doing. Kelsey knows what this is. So he runs out there immediately. He knows, okay, that ball's supposed to be out, so I'm going to run. So it's not a legal man downfield. He timed it in his clock. He runs down, and he gets his hands on the linebacker so that AJ can, get that 23-yard reception. You know what I mean? But these are worked into the offense. So Shane Stitchen has done a great job of making it so that Hurts does not have to think when it comes to anything short. Right? Everything short is designed and predetermined. And once you start to do that, once you start to come down and try to take that away, he also uses screens and deploys screens so that, okay, even if you want to come down here and flash, we got an offensive line has some firepower, right? So there's a lot that you have to think about when dealing with the Eagles. Once you start to over engage with those, you have things like this that open up on the back end. But once a defense is sitting on these guys effectively, once you sit on the Eagles effectively, they know they have a lot of space behind you for the deep ball. There's another screen they were attempting to do there. So some of these plays that you would think that, are just normally designed plays, they're screens waiting to develop that never got off, right? Like this one here. This is a screen that never developed because the defensive end just stays with Goddard on this one. That was just a heads up play. But a lot of these plays that the Eagles are running, like none of those routes on the back end are even for anything other than moving the defense where they want them, because they're not intending to target any of those guys deep. And they won't until you start to engage or over engage your men and your resources to the line of scrimmage. Other than that, until you do, they're going to throw underneath and take whatever you give them underneath all day. And that's their identity. When it comes to running the ball, you already know they're going to power run you all day. And that's also just to bring you to the line of scrimmage so they can take those shots later on once the defense is fully committed and their eyes are downfield. If you have a defense that not only can take away the run effectively up front, you have the personnel to take away the run up front, you're good. But you also need to be able to make sure you have the corners and safety or the secondary to be able to man up one-on-one at times downfield, because you're going to have to, because they're going to take their shots at you and they're going to do it constantly, with so much aggression and consistency that eventually something's going to stick, because you'll see a lot of these deep shots aren't even effective. I mean, he's not hitting on them. He doesn't need to hit on all of them, because they'll take about 7 to 10 of them a game, and they only need 2. They only need to connect with 2 of them to blow the game open. So you have to be prepared for these one-on-ones on the outside, and if you don't have the secondary to deal with the Eagles, you're in trouble. If you don't have the run game to deal with them, they're going to just slow walk you all day with the run game and beat you. If you have a secondary and no, run defense, they're going to run it, a slow game, right? If you have the run defense but no secondary, they're going to wait for you to start crowding the line to stop the run, and they're going to abuse your secondary later in the game. So there's like a pick your poison effect to the way they deploy their offense. And I was impressed by the fact that it was simple, but they were so consistent at it that, they didn't stray away from what their strengths were. And they found a way to use that offensive line as I said, as a superpower, because that offensive line is definitely a weapon. And when you deploy a lot of screens that make it so that they get to get out in the space and get their hands on safeties and corners and linebackers, they love that. Kelsey and those guys love that. So this is the Eagles scheme, though. You can see, and I didn't take this from one game. I watched 7 games to kind of determine what they like to do. These rub routes, when they're in obvious passing situations, they deploy these rub routes here. And the reason I call that one a rub is because AJ is only looking to take away both corners. You see that he freed 16 up by just taking those corners away, by just running that stab route right up the middle of the field. Here you'll see 3 is just trying to reroute the linebacker, which he does effectively. And now that linebacker had to take a different angle. Instead of going horizontally, he had to go down. He had to drive on the ball rather than kind of flow over the top. And that's why Devontae Adams got that pass in there. You'll see that happen a lot, though. Here, you'll see 3 again coming to get in the way of Gilmore so that, AJ can get open on this play. Although this one didn't get off, you can see he's not running a route. So these are not routes that are being run. These are one-man routes. So Hurts knows where the ball is going before the play even starts. He does not have to make a decision. He does not have to think. And, I got a lot of heat on Twitter for saying that, but I wasn't saying it to hate on him. I was saying it because that's truly how their scheme is designed. He does not have to do a lot of thinking back there with the football. The play action here takes away those linebackers, and it opens up everything between the safety and those linebackers so that he doesn't have to think. He knows where that ball's supposed to go. And those other 2 routes on the outside, he would have never thrown there. You can see they were already blocking before the ball got released, because those receivers knew AJ's getting this ball on this deep crosser, because that's a cover 1 killer. Here, you'll see a tight end there. His job was just to get in the way of Gilmore and screen Gilmore so Gilmore can't get to this dig route, and so on and so forth. That's pretty much what the Eagles deploy and what they do over and over and over again. So there's very few times you're going to see Hurts actually dropping back and just trying to figure out based off post snap like what this defense is doing and where I should go with the football. He knows where he's supposed to go. If it's not there, he hits that check down. That check down's not there, he takes off. That's pretty much it. And that's what he does most games. But it's so effective because, at the end of the day, it's a lot to think about for a defense because you still have to actually be able to stop these things. You have to have a defense that's well rounded to be able to stop the Eagles. You can't just be a good run defense to think you're going to beat them because they still can throw the ball deep. He does have a good deep ball, and they will take their shots deep, over and over and over again if you're crowding the line of scrimmage. He doesn't do a lot of reading. He does have time in the pocket. And what I saw late, and you'll see this later in this film, when you don't bother to rush him, you actually have a better chance than you do actually blitzing him and coming after him. And I'll show you why. Here he uses his feet to move the safety, and they love this play. You'll see this in the Super Bowl too. He uses his feet to move the safety, whether it's a play action or a sprint. He sprints out there, and then that opens up that angle so he can throw to the far post. And he loves that post route, right? He does that a lot. Here he didn't get the ball off, obviously, because he got stripped, but you'll see it in the Super Bowl. He did this with A.J. Brown. What I don't like about the selection on these plays or what he does on this play here is you have a linebacker on Devontae Adams. That's the obvious read. And instead, he elects to throw it into double coverage. And that's how whoever's called, it's like Ron Burgundy, whoever's called as the primary on a particular play, that's where he's going with the ball, regardless. He's not looking to see what else is there. He just throws that ball to AJ anyway. And AJ bails him out, fortunately, because he catches that ball. But because of that, he does it too consistently. I think he went to that well too many times because this is double coverage again. And you have Goddard wide open. He overlooks Goddard and just says, okay, we're doing the same thing to AJ again because it worked the first time. But those safeties were ready for it every other time he did it. And I think the Eagles could have won this game. They could have won the Super Bowl had they just been a little more patient and had they read the field a little bit better, or a lot better, when it came to a lot of those things that we saw on film. Here, I know 16 wants this one back because that was a good throw from Hurts on his back foot. I thought he got the ball off well, and I thought that was like just a great pass there. You got to catch that, and especially in a big moment like that. That's how you become like a David Tyree type of guy. They also use those comeback routes to set up for double moves, things like that. We do that a lot. We ran 4 hitch routes like crazy. I think that's a going joke in the Cowboy world. But they will set you up for double moves off this, especially Devontae Adams. They will come back on those comeback routes and on those arrow routes, and then eventually out and up you, or they'll just do a little sluggo and keep it going. Once you start sitting on them, like you see them sitting on this here, that's what they're looking for. They're not getting you to sit on routes, and you think you're breaking up plays for them, and all you're doing is letting them know that you're paying attention to the short stuff so they can start getting behind you. Once Hurts is able to effectively dissect what's going on and like dice guys up from the pocket, he's going to be even more dangerous because as you can see, what's going on and like before. They're not getting you to sit on routes, and you think you're breaking up plays for them, and all you're doing is letting them know that you're paying attention to the short stuff. All the time in the world, they can start getting behind. Running a circle. Once Hurts is able to effectively dissect what's going on and like dice guys up from the pocket, he's going to be even more dangerous because as you can see, what teams were doing in the red zone to kind of stop him. And the reason he doesn't have a lot of red zone passing touchdowns is because once you get in the red zone, all they did was contain him. They don't go after him here because they can't afford letting him slip out and run it big, right? So they just contain him. And when you contain him, he has all the time to make the plays, but he'll overlook certain things and still wind up trying to.
Boom. All right. I think that's enough of that because it was going for long. Anybody who wants to watch that, it was still on there. It's on my channel. I forget the name. Well, let me see. What was the name of that video? It's Jalen Hurts' scheme QB, a breakdown of the Philadelphia Eagles scheme in 2022. So yeah, so anybody who wants to watch that, it's still on YouTube. Just go to my channel or go to YouTube and just type in "Is Jalen Hurts a scheme QB?" and you can watch that again. He said, Paul says, "Well done, Okoye. You're nice with this shit." Oh yeah, man, I appreciate that. Okoye and Boss is the best I've seen breakdown film for real. Boss, my guy, man. Boss actually, he come find me. You know, you go find the old assassin in the movies and shit. Not saying I'm like that, but I'm just saying I'll be quitting. He'll come up in the mountains and come get me out of seclusion. Like, yo, you gotta come back and do some videos, man. So boss definitely will curse me out. He'll call me and be like, yo, where the fuck is you at? I'm like, yeah, you right, man. All right. Jay Bryan, he said maybe back in the day when we had thick skin to play, today's players don't do that. Oh, you're talking about a lot of players aren't open to criticisms, saying with a lot of coaches. I could be a coach though. I mean, I coach now. That's what I do for a living. I coach fighters. At least water. I got no water, man. But I need some. I got some Verdi. About to be drinking Verdi. Fuck it. I got something like hair or something in my throat though. Or something. I don't know. I got no water. Mm. All right. That'll do. All right. All right. But yeah, I definitely coach the youth right now, man. That's not something I can't do. I think I could still I'm still able to reach them at this point in the game. All right. But nonetheless, again, you can see from the video. My bad. I had something in my throat. But you can see from the video that I didn't hate, and then I just showed you the last video that we just watched together. That was the video from 3 years ago that started all the Twitter controversy and all that. But I guarantee you won't see people who, especially people who saved it. You know, people be putting those little pins, they be pinning all my posts up there to show me what I ever did wrong. 2, 3 years ago, they come show me. Whenever it happened, they be like, see, you know what I mean? Especially when it came to Mozzie. But nobody does it when I'm right because I'm white. I'm right way more than I'm wrong. Remember that Jordan Belfort line? He said, "Don't judge me by uh don't judge me by my wins, judge me by my losses, because there's so few or something like that." Same thing, man. I'm usually right, even when I'm wrong, man. But nonetheless, I'm being funny when I say that I'm not that arrogant. I mean, I'm wrong like anybody else is wrong, but I give myself the credit when I'm right too, just like I do when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I think there's a problem going on in Eagles land, man. Let's see. He said, "How could anyone have an issue with that film?" Oh no, they hated it. The Eagles fans hated me for that one. They got introduced to me. They didn't know who I was, so they thought that I was hating. He said, yeah, cool, yeah, the community needs you, bro." Yeah, Vaj, my man. He said, "Koye, Boss, Vaj, those are my film guys." Yeah, Vaj is like he the guy that used to teach me certain things when it came to like offensive line play. I was like, man, yeah, he got a wealth of knowledge. That's my guy. Maybe back in the, I read that already. I'm just reading your comments because I've been away for a minute. He said, "I think Okoye is like me. He might not be a great coach because of what he'll say to people, but he's a great scout and analyst." No, I think I could be, like I said, I'm a pretty good coach now. I will say what I have to say, but everybody different. Like you don't treat everybody the same. I don't treat everybody the same. Some people need you to talk to them straight up, right? Some people need some data boys. But some people need like, yo, you fucked up. They need to hear that. You know what I mean? So it just depends on who you're talking to. And if you give the wrong fuel to you put the wrong fuel in the wrong car, like diesel fuel don't run, Jaguars, you know what I'm saying? And regular gasoline don't run a diesel truck. So depending on what you're driving or what you're dealing with, that determines how you apply it. But yeah, I think I could be a temperate coach. I plan on being it anyway. You guys will see soon. Um, yeah, but I mean that's pretty much I think all of the main new comments. I'm going back up to some of your older comments, but I got most of it. He said if it's one on one, we want Dak to take that chance with Lamb or GP every time. That's a fact. That's what you're supposed to do. But that's what Dak been doing it in double coverage this year. But I don't hear these arguments when people saying how trash Dak was and all y'all have been talking for the last 3 years, man. They quiet. They've been quiet since that 7-game slide that they took 2 years ago, the year before last. They kind of got quiet then, and then they start talking again because last year what happened, right? But they can't say that they like what they see, but they gotta they gotta go with it just like everybody else, just going with it. Like, oh man, well, he said, well, it's about the wins. He been saying that for so long. It's about the win. It's about the win. As long as we got the W. That's what Hurts been saying out of his own mouth. We've been saying that we not hating, and y'all been saying it's about the wins because that's what he fed y'all. His own receiver don't agree with him. His own receiver don't agree with him. So we couldn't have been that wrong. Couldn't have been that wrong, man. But let's see. He said, what he said, 8 games. 8 games in with only 408 yards as a number one receiver. Well, I understand the frustration. That's a fact. Yeah. And he gonna end the season with like 50 receptions, and then they gonna want some of that money back. Yeah, that'll make you snap. That'll make you snap. I know I would, and that's worth fighting. But y'all be thinking these receivers just crazy. They're not crazy. Imagine. Well, I can. I know you all can imagine having to lean on somebody else to do your job because at most jobs you have to lean on somebody to do something at some point in the game, right? Everything. Somebody had to make the microphone for me to even be talking. So the internet got to exist. There's a lot of stuff got to come together for you to do your job. I get it. So everybody can imagine that without a problem. But on the in the game of football, the way a wide receiver is evaluated, man, the difference between quarterbacks is it could be night and day with your career and where you go and how well you do in your career. If you get the wrong quarterback, you get a young quarterback, you're gonna have a problem unless he's a savant. And even when they're savants like your Ben Roethlisberger's or your Tom Brady's, they were run heavy teams that had good young game managers on them. They didn't come in like just wheeling and dealing the football. You know what I mean? Like they was Dan Marino. So even that is still not. If you get one of those quarterbacks, you might not be putting up those numbers at receiver like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to wait for them to develop, learn what they're looking at, and the game slows down for them. And a non-mobile quarterback, because they have no choice, they generally learn that in like 3 years. So if you got a non-mobile pocket passing QB, they usually learn the game slows down for them. You'll know what you have in like year 3, going into year 3. Troy Aikman, those types of year 3, right? But if you got a running quarterback, the reason I say that is it's harder to evaluate. This is what I did the Hurts video over. You don't know what you got until year 6, 5, 6. And that's because the first 2 to 3 years, first year, they're gonna run rampant on you. Second year, the film will be a counter. Like, so now they caught up to you on film, but you'll still be able to you'll be effective, but you'll rely on your athleticism and the game slowing down a little bit for you. You should be reading the whole field by the second year though, as a running quarterback. But you still gonna run as your instinct, third year too. But when it's time to start making that money, that fourth year when it's time to start talking about contracts, you got to prove that you could do something other than run because they know the organization doesn't want to invest in injuries, and you will get injured if you keep running. A la Dak Prescott when he was trying to get paid. So a la Michael Vick, everybody. It's the same story for everybody. So now your running quarterback has to learn starting in year 3, 2, 3, how to start playing from the pocket. And then now he's on that same curve that the pocket passes are on, a 2 to 3 year curve. So that's why it takes 5, 6 years to know what you have if you have a running quarterback. It's broken down. I'm not just saying this shit. It's the truth. You don't know what you got. And now we're learning what Hurts really is. Excuse me. Gotcha. Hold on. Boom. Sorry about that. He said your mic is acting up now and then. Man, that's messed up. Thanks for telling me though. Is it? How about? I mean, I guess I sound good to myself. Your audio is buffering. Damn. I was on a rant too. Yep. Lamar Jackson had to learn to pass from the pocket. Yep. All of them got to learn. It take a while, man. But listen. What we gonna do though? Because that was just one game. I'm going to keep going. I got a little bit of time this weekend. I got some stuff to do around the crib, but I'm going to definitely be on here tomorrow. And I've been watching my man Mozzie too over there with the Jets. I'm gonna show y'all an update on that too. But tune in. Appreciate y'all jumping on. Tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna do something random. So just make sure you got your notifications on. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, y'all share it, talk some stuff on Twitter. You know what I mean? Go throw it something in the Eagles players' face if you want to, because they've been talking crazy. You know what I mean? Do what you want. Talk to y'all soon. Enjoy your weekend.